Hey friends, it's me Alyssa and I am back with Live in Local Atlanta. Today I'm joined by my incredible friend Chef Ashely. She's here to talk about healthy eating, choices, and so much more. Ashely, how are you?
I'm doing great, Alyssa. Thank you for having me here today.
I love it. I love it. Now, you are an incredible chef. Like, you really have it going on. And I want to talk specifically about choices. Now, not just regular, oh, do I want water? Do I want a soda? But you've got something special. What does this word mean to you?
So, Choices means to me the Center Helping Obesity in Children and Successfully. It was started in 2002 by my mother. A little bit about my story. At the age of 16, I was a type 2 diabetic and I had hypertension. So, I was taking insulin shots in high school and middle school. So, at 18, I had a life changing surgery to help save my life. I had gastric bypass surgery. And from that day, when I left the hospital, I have not had a shot of insulin since then.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes. So I'm glad to be able to share my story and help families make those healthier choices and keep those resolutions going on throughout the year. So Choices focuses on nutrition education and food insecurity, but we want to make sure those families are making healthy choices throughout the year.
I love that. And I think one of the things you're saying you want to teach about or educate people on nutritional education. This is something I think a lot of people miss out on when they think of dieting or healthy eating. They think it's either boring or bland, and they don't realize there's a learning curve to it. And can you go into a little bit of behind that, the learning curve of it?
Yes, so it's not about a diet, it's more about a healthy lifestyle, living in a healthy lifestyle. So it's like, okay, you're making those healthier choices. At Choices, we teach Go, Slow, and Woe, which is part of the NIH, National Institute of Health, a weekend curriculum where we try to treat our food like a stoplight. Go is mean every day eat those things such as fruits and vegetables, low fat foods. Then we look at slow, meaning that's that yellow stoplight. Okay, 2 to 3 times a week, no more. And then we say woe is that like candy bar type thing. So that red item, that soda, we want to make sure we limit those in our diets. So that's the easy way for our families to know what they're eating if they can use a stoplight system to kind of rate their food.
Now, this was really, Choices was really kind of something that sounds a bit like a family project. Your mom was involved in it, you're involved in it. Can we talk about kind of your journey into becoming a chef and how that played into Choices?
Yes, so as my family, they tease me all the time. As a baby, I said, and as a young child, I wanted to be a cooker when I grew up. And today, I am a chef. So it's a little funny, like translation of things, and being able to show families how to eat healthier. I like to play in the kitchen, so I'm always the one that likes to sneak vegetables, maybe into like mac and cheese, or make sure we have some extra vegetables in our spaghetti sauce. So I like to show our families how they can do those things so that they can eat healthier, but they also get to have more vegetables and more nutrients in their food.
I love that. Now, I want to touch on you've got three principles that are really important, especially when it comes to choices. Can you talk about those three principles?
Yes, so the first thing we want to do is make sure we're getting enough water every day. Water is key for our body. It gives you energy, it gives you fuel. Sometimes when you're feeling a little fatigued, it's because you're dehydrated. So we want to make sure we're getting at least 64 ounces. So I like to say, right now it's the Stanley Cup era. Make sure we're drinking at least 2 Stanleys a day to stay hydrated. Or just find a favorite water bottle that you like. Or if not, simply just getting a reusable water will also be eco-friendly, and it's fun because your family can each of your members in your family can have a different water bottle, and then you can fill it up with like fresh fruits such as orange mint. Right now is my favorite to infuse because it's wintertime. But if you're not so much a fan of water, you can try like decaffeinated green tea or herbal tea so that you can get the hydration through warm tea. Or you can even just try just putting a slice of lemon in your water, and that's going to give it some vibrancy and a little bit more hydration that you'll want to drink your water from. Another one of our principles is we're swapping things out. So let's take our carbs, for example. Instead of maybe doing rice all the time, maybe try quinoa. Or if we want to have our white rice, which I like to have sometimes, I like to pair it with a high fiber thing, such as some vegetables. Making sure we're having some beans. So it's not just about eating a bowl of rice, but let's make sure we're having those high fiber things that go to it, or even adding some more vegetables or swapping those for maybe like cauliflower rice, or taking our pasta and using zoodles or zucchini instead of pasta to switch out some of those carbs. And lastly, we want to make sure we are making sure we're getting moving. We want to make sure families are getting moving. So we want to make sure they're exercising at least 30 minutes a day, keeping active, such as going for a family walk. We want to make sure families are also making sure they're eating their vegetables. We want to eat a rainbow of colors every day. So those are some principles we have here at Choices that we like to teach our families.
I think that's so fun. And I mean, I remember even as a kid, that family walk is so much more than just exercising. It's, the time to connect, the time to talk, really build your mental health, strengthen your relationship, whether it is with your partner, your child, grandma, grandpa, whomever. I think that's such a great way of incorporating that, and I think it's so great that you mentioned that. I have to ask, what are some easy tips people can start doing at home right now?
So the first thing is just cooking at home. Cooking at home is always going to be healthier than eating out, Alyssa. Also, when you're shopping at the grocery store, go around the perimeter of the grocery store first, and then you go through the aisles to get you those low sodium canned beans or low sodium tomatoes, your grains. But when we're going in the center of the store, we want to make sure we're being particular on what we're picking up from those center aisles. Another thing you can do is just make one swap or try one new thing a week, such as if it's a new vegetable or a new fruit or a new way to drink your water. It's like having the flavor of the day. So you just want to make sure that you try one thing at a time. Making a whole lot of swaps gets confusing, and sometimes when you don't like those swaps, the family's going to rebel and say, I'm not doing it anymore. I just want to go back to my old ways, my old habits. It's too hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so great. Now, one thing you touched on, I'd love if you could explain a little bit more and explain to people why eating at home is a lot cleaner, a lot healthier than eating out. Let's say a family, they eat out and it's, I'm only getting a salad, and I'm only getting just a light sandwich. Why is that not the same as eating at home?
So we get to choose what we put in our food when we're cooking at home. So let's say that salad you have, let's think about what's on that salad. Is it a lot of carbs, a lot of high fat? The salad dressing can have a lot of fat into it, and the sodium you're not thinking about. Versus at home, you're getting to choose how you season your food. You get to watch how much sodium you put on there, because we don't want to start putting too much seasoning into our food where we have a lot of added salt. We get to choose those materials and build on that. So let's say, for example, one night we want to make quinoa crusted chicken fingers. All right, the family gets to have a new type of chicken finger. It's not a fried chicken finger, but you're also getting some added protein and some extra vitamins and minerals from that quinoa crusted chicken finger. So the family gets to choose and have fun building in the kitchen. Get those kids involved. Have them cut up the vegetables. At our cooking classes, when we have our classes, the kids are actually cutting up peppers and onions, and they're learning knife skills. It creates conversation for the family, that things that kids might not talk about because they're at the dinner table with mom and dad, versus while they're cooking and stuff, they might be open to talking about those conversations they might have had during the day at school. So just being able to have more family interaction also helps you at the dinner table.
I love that. Can you talk about what's been your favorite part of this whole journey with educating people on their own personal choices, how they can bring nutrition into their diet? What's been your favorite part of this whole process for you?
So over the time, it's just seeing the changes and the transitions of the families, hearing families tell us their stories, their testimonies. It's always rewarding to come back and see a family and they're like, oh, we're making this recipe still. I know one family, I have a young chef, Giovanni. He makes our sweet potato chili all the time. His mom's like, I wish you would teach him another recipe sometimes, because she's like, I don't want to make chili anymore. But it's fun to hear those kids saying, okay, that's my favorite recipe. You taught me how to cook, and now I'm making it so much that mom's like, give him another recipe, please. So it's fun to see those families tell those testimonies and see the kids growing over time, and seeing them just make those small changes, and you see progress with those children and those families.
I love that. How do you feel knowing you're not only inspiring people to make these life changes, you're breaking generational curses, and you're really making a huge impact on a community?
It's a blessing, and this is my purpose in life, is to help these families and to help make these changes and being able to educate these families and like letting families know it takes more than just one day. It's one day at a time, walking it step by step. It's not all going to change in one day. There's no miracle pill that we can take for this. It's all about those little changes that you're making in your life so families can be healthier for generations to come.
I think that's so wonderful. Now, you mentioned shopping the outsides of a grocery store, and right now people are so stressed and worried about pricing and, staying on budget. What are some easy budget tips or hacks for getting that healthy meal but still staying on budget?
So, C.H.O.I.C.E.S used to do the $10 grocery store challenge. That was pre-pandemic. Now it's more about $20 to $25 to make a healthy meal. What I like to tell families, they can go on YouTube University and learn how to take a whole chicken and cut it up. That's a money-saving tip versus just buying the breast or the wings. To have your whole family, you can teach them how to cut up a whole chicken. Get fresh produce. Go to the farmer's market. Sometimes local farmers markets here in the city have great 2-for-1 programs if they have SNAP or EBT benefits, where you can basically get 2-for-1, so you get double your bucks in your fresh produce. Also, just shopping what's on sale. Look at the ads online, shop on sale versus shopping, and that's how you kind of make your menu. Pre-plan before you go to the grocery store also helps you, so that when you go there, you don't have those urges to pick up. A lot of our grocery stores now have free grocery shopping where you can literally order your groceries online and then pick them up, so that helps you not have to have the binge shopping of adding those extra cookies and those chips into your cart. That helps a lot of time. And also just trying something new, being open to trying something new. Maybe do meatless Mondays, or you can do, on Fridays I do pizza night where I clean out my refrigerator from the weeks of proteins and the vegetables I have left. Just making it fun in the kitchen, but also showing that your families can cook healthy just by even shopping from their pantries.
I recently have gotten better at that, shopping inside my pantry when meal prepping. I try not to go with my husband to the grocery store because he is like a little kid. He's like, can we get this? I'm like, no, bad boy. But I love that. I think these are really great tips to share with people to utilize their resources and stretch that budget just a little bit farther. Ash, I have to ask, how can people stay up to date with you? How can they find out more about C.H.O.I.C.E.S and all of that?
Yeah, so C.H.O.I.C.E.S is very busy. We have our food insecurity initiative, and we have our Sisters in the Light program starting back up, where we're looking for families with girls who are overweight, and they are going to help us redesign our mascot. They can find out more information about C.H.O.I.C.E.S on our website, www.choicesforkids.org, or we're also on social media, all platforms, at C.H.O.I.C.E.S, the number 4 kids.
I love it. Ashely, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
This is such an incredible conversation. This is Live and Local Atlanta. I'm your host, Alyssa. Make sure you download the free Odyssey app today. That's AUDACY inside the App Store. Once it's downloaded, make sure you favorite Star 94 Atlanta by hitting the heart in the top corner of your screen. Of course, if you want to stay up to date with me, you can give me a follow at itsme_Alyssa D, and I will see you next time.